Here's one to lift your spirits. Boston is playing host to a new kind of performing arts festival known as Outside the Box. It's 9 days of free entertainment, and among the many acts set to take the stage is Braintree native and Berkeley grad Shay Rose. Take a listen. And Shay Rose is here along with Outside the Box organizer Ted Cutler. Welcome.
Thank you.
Ted,
thank you for having us.
This has been a dream of yours for a while, but you pulled it together very quickly. What's your sort of overall assessment of how it's gone?
Build it and they will come. And they've came. People are having a wonderful time. It's exactly what I wanted to see. It's exactly the audience we wanted to have. It was the people of the city of Boston, and they're having a great time.
Why did you want to do this?
It had to be done. I started to think about this in 2008, and then the economy tanked, and it sat in the back of my mind for a long time. I wanted to do it because Boston, for everything that it's known for, is not known as a performing arts city, a real performing arts city internationally. And this is the beginning of just inviting everybody to come and see what performing arts is and have them enjoy it. And it goes with it. There's a lot of other things that go with it. And I'm sure that it's going to be for the benefit of the city of Boston.
Now, I know you've put a lot of your own personal finances into that. That's been well reported. But are you hoping that down the road, in a few years to come, that you'll get sponsors, that this will, live on for decades to come?
Well, this was a very special year. With everything that happened with the marathon and everything else, we were lined up for a lot of different sponsorships. But when the marathon came and the governor and the mayor, and rightly so, asked for to build this great amount of money to help the people, it just shut off all the other philanthropy in the city. So I said, well, look, I'm not going to stop this thing. I want it to go, and I'll take it over. But already we've had 5, 6, 7 people come to us, say they want to sponsor next year. So, I mean, it's not a question of the money. It's a question of what it's doing.
So, Shay, you've had a great couple of years. You've been very successful, won a couple of prestigious awards. How did you get involved in this?
So my friends that we all attended Berkeley together, they're called Rhythm of the Universe, or Row 2, told me about the show, I think around January or February, and they invited me to be a part of the opening ceremony. And they also were helping to find some talent to hit some of the stages, and they invited me to perform on the City Hall Plaza stage. So that's how I got involved, and it's an honor. And I just have to say to Mr. Cutler, thank you for your
Mr.
vision.
Cutler was my father.
No, so I can call him Ted. Yeah. Thank you for your courage and vision and resilience. Being a Boston girl, this is my hometown, and I was walking through the Boston Common the other day, and I was like, whoa, this is happening. And so it's such an honor to be a part of this festival.
If people haven't been through the structures themselves, I mean, there's kind of a double meaning to Outside the Box, but the structures themselves, these huge performing stages that look like boxes, they are boxes in a sense. You got that going on, and I know there's other events going on too, because Shakespeare on the Common is right there. It's not part of your event, but it's almost like it's part of your event. Because
it actually is part of the event. We're sharing a stage with them. The city of Boston, since the marathon situation, has had a heavy cloud over its head. We've honored a lot of people, and they deserve the honor. But I'm looking at the people of the city of Boston, and I believe that this festival is just replacing the cloud that's over his head. It's replacing a little bit of the sadness, starting to get us back to think about having a good time and things like that. And I believe that's just what's happening, Emily.
Do you think it's tourists, or is it Bostonians? Who's coming down there?
It's everything. And I've talked to people that have come to Boston. They said they're going to stay 2 days, and they're staying 5. Somebody came over to me, he says, I've been to Scotland, I've seen festivals and everything else. He's from London. He says, this is your festival like Scotland. And I said, boy, you couldn't have made me happier. That's exactly where we want to be. We want to be the festival for Boston, as Scotland is, because it's been there for 50 years.
Shay, I saw you come in the other night. Ted had an opening ceremonies party, and Jeff Foxworthy performed. I was a little vague on who he was. He was
Hilarious.
I mean, spectacular.
Yes.
And what did you think of him?
Oh, I thought he was so hilarious. Wasn't expecting.
No.
I think he went through he started with family. What's the da 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 da? Oh, I can't think of the name, but
All in the Family.
All in the Family. All in the
Those were the
Family.
days.
Those are the days. Yes. So I thought he was great.
Yeah. He did music of the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, right through the current,
Yeah.
and he does the imitation. So
Yeah.
what other shows have you been to? Have you seen anything else?
I had a chance to judge an a cappella contest, which was nice. It was really awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. And to add what Ted was saying, I think this also bridges the diversity and culture in the music scene in Boston. As a Berklee student, there seems to always be like a kind of a split, the Berklee students and the Boston musicians. So I'm enjoying that we're all actually getting on the stage together, musicians who have come up through Boston, not necessarily Berklee, but also musicians who are at Berklee and who are coming, from other areas of the world to be a part of this in Boston.
So you're thumbing your nose at the naysayers, Ted?
No, not really. There's more of the naysayers, and they're growing every day. This group, the Rhythm of the Universe, I saw them for the first time. I fell in love with them. I knew what they were. They were just wonderful, wonderful musicians and wonderful singers. So we put them on as our very first act for the festival in the evening. We drew over 50,000 people.
That's
just for that one time, and it built from that. Saturday and Sunday, I think we looked at close to 150, 175,000 people.
And it goes through next Sunday, so everybody out there has more time to do it. Ted Cutler, Rose Shea, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
All right, you can find the full performance lineup on our website, also at WGBHnews.org.